Hello, yo, musical theatre nerds out there. We've got a great show for you today. This is the musical theatre Showdown Season 1, Episode 1.
Oh, it's the pilot episode!
Yeah. My name's Inti. I'm here with the intelligent, affable, wonderful Josie and the really pretty Kit.
So the musical theatre Showdown is we're going to watch some opening numbers from musical theatre shows and we're going to rank them. We're going to go through knockouts. We're going to knock out one out of the 5 that we like the least, and then we're going to go with the next 4 onto the next song of the show and knock out one that we like the least, and so on.
Josie, this is the first time I've ever done anything with you artistically, but Kit tells me you've got like a doctorate in lyrics.
Basically, I think so. I mean, I went to the Uni of Warwick and studied English literature and creative writing, so that's close enough, right? I did a poetry module, so that counts.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent opening to a musical. Straight away, I'm getting character through the voices. The "oh my god, you guys" is a perfect phrase for this, because it's obviously a movie adaptation, but it's a perfect phrase for these characters.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like, they're peppy, they're excitable, they're sorority girls. You know, there's this Valley Girl thing of saying, oh my god, and they're just going out there and they're saying it.
Yeah, I like it. It's just really fun, really high energy.
It's cool because you're introducing all the characters immediately. There's like a tiny guitar riff, and then it's straight into Dear L.
Just like that couple from Titanic, only no one dies. Oh my god! 2, 3, 4. Daughter of Elton, new, soon to be fiancé. Now that I'm
That couple from Titanic, only no one dies. Oh my god, you guys. That's one of my favourite rhymes so far.
I mean, for me, it's got to be the coining of the phrase proposal eyes, which you think, is that a verb? Imagine, you know, asking for someone's hand in marriage and being like, do you know, I just couldn't work up the courage, and now darling, I just have to proposalize.
Oh my god, this is a proposalization!
Inti, can you show us what proposal eyes would look like?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Forget about saying yes or no, I would run!
He looked at me quite proposalized.
The patient was already proposalized when he came in.
It's a very proposalizing subject.
Now, I don't want to proposalize you, but I think about this a lot in terms of writing for radio, like writing sketch and writing sitcom for radio, in terms of do we want the audience to feel like these characters have names and we're going to remember who they are, or are these just supposed to be like, you know, Lady 1, Lady 2. For me, this song does a good job in saying, you are listening, like, these characters are called Sorority Woman 1, Sorority Woman 2, and they keep talking about Elle, and that's who you need to care about.
Yeah, they're basically a narrator. I mean, they even get referenced to as a Greek chorus later on in the show. That is basically what they're there for. And it's great because there's no dead weight. Like, firstly it's funny, but they're immediately getting into the situation.
100%, and there's a lot of plot and exposition going on here. There's a lot of, okay, Elle and Warner have been going out for a long time, right? She's hoping that he's going to propose. They met at college. She's a sorority girl. Like, we get all of that background, but I don't think you feel like you're getting that. You feel like you're getting, oh my god, babe, I'm so happy for you, and we're writing you this letter. Like, you just feel like you're in that world.
And the best musical numbers, in my opinion, are when, by the end of the song, the audience are in a different position than they were at the beginning of the song. They know more, the story has been moved on. Because a lot of songs can often just be an expression of emotion sometimes, which is great, but sometimes it doesn't add anything, it doesn't drive the story forward, it's like a soliloquy. Whereas I prefer songs like this, where it's, you know, great, we're off on the story straight away.
And not only the story, it really sets up the major themes of the entire show. Sisterhood and heteronormative romance and how they interact. That's the heart of this show, I would say. And yeah, it's really interesting. The section we just listened to, you get into the "Now that a man chose you" section, which is very much like, you know, straightforward. This is your gender role, and this, you know, you've got to cook for him, you've got to clean for him. This is your life. Make sure you don't show your age. This whole thing of changing yourself for a man, which is massive in Legally Blonde, and a lot of people think that the plot of the musical and indeed the film is problematic because she does end up, spoiler alert, changing herself for a man.
But do you the way it's delivered? Because you could wince at a message like that, but the way it's delivered, it's not wincing. It's not it's not like I don't immediately go, oh, I completely disagree with the message of the song. I'm on the ride with the characters straight away.
But I think that section in the song is really important because it seems so rigid and firm, and I think it is a different tone. I think the "Now That a Man Chose You" section, like, you listen to it and you're like, oh my god, sisterhood, fun, friendship, and then you're like, oh my god, that just got kind of grim.
It's nice that you have that musical change because, yeah, it makes you pay attention to these particular lyrics, that like it's been going in this way, and so you get into the oh my god, blah blah blah, and then yeah, that change, it makes you zoom in on those lyrics, and so you're really listening to these, like, these are the expectations of you now, this is the rest of your life.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. The Old Valley Mall!
So, Inti, what kind of instruments are we hearing here? Because in this last bit in particular, it sounded like it was just this really, this bass guitar. Because for me, like, so often music just washes over me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is the feel of it. And I'm kind of not even aware of like all the individual instrumentation that's in there.
Yeah, well, this is a modern musical. It's not a Rodgers and Hammerstein type of show, so you don't need an orchestra to play this. You can play this musical with like a six-piece band. Kind of rock and roll, pop. I can hear electric guitar always doing little riffs in there, and it's sticking to pop. It's got a great pace. This is pop, but it's obviously a deliberate choice because these characters, I guess, listen to this type of music. They like this type of music. One of my favourite things about musical theatre is that you can stop a song and have a 10-line scene between a character and a dog. And that's great that you can have that in a show.
And especially that dog. What a well-behaved dog. Wow. It knows the difference between a mole and a mill.
That's great. Like, from a writing perspective, it's cool that they were able to stick a tiny joke to button that scene, Old Valley Mill.
Yeah. Say with the book, it's normally that's more exposition heavy, right? So that's the moment for them to come in and say, she's trapped in the Old Valley Mall, and we need to know that because that's where we're going next. Rather than, like, daughter of Delta, new, trapped in the mall, now we're going there.
That little scene, it is needed because they can't find Elle. But really it's there, in my opinion, to introduce the dog as a character.
The thing is, there is a vehicle for the dog.
Yeah.
They're like, this dog is such a good actor. We need to write a musical to show off what a good actor this dog is.
You joke, but Legally Blonde, the movie, the sequel, is all about the dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Bruiser's Bill, the dog, has a lawsuit.
Dogs normally don't have any kind of suit.
It may be perfect for a blonde, but I'm not that blonde. I may be in love, but I'm not stupid, lady. I've got eyes. Oh my God, Elwood, sorry, our mistake.
That is a perfect introduction to a character. The music all dies down, and she's talking about the dress that she wants, and she's really clever as well when she says, it may be perfect for a blonde, but I'm not that blonde. It's a perfect amount of sass, intelligence, and it shows her interest. It's so perfect for her.
I mean, it sets up this whole thing, the theme of intellect and fashion coming together, which is the Elwood's brand.
From like a subjective point of view, is this the sort of song that you hear at the beginning of the show that makes you specifically want to carry on listening and watching?
Yeah, I would say yes. However, I have listened to this song a year ago because you sent it to me, and I did not watch the rest of the musical. But I mean, like, if you're asking me if I've paid tickets for the theatre and I'm sitting in the seat and they do this opening number, would I get up and walk out? I would say the answer is no.
The opening is so important. I mean, Kit and I are in the process of writing part 2 of a musical, and I find the whole opening section to be one of the most important parts, because it really determines on whether people want to keep listening.
Side point, which I just wanted to make. Have either of you guys heard Deborah Francis White's theory on Say Yes to the Dress?
What is Say Yes to the Dress?
Yeah, good question. So it's one of those awful American TV shows where it's all about weddings, and it's about a woman deciding whether or not she's going to, which wedding dress she's going to have. And it's about her having that moment of choosing that dress, of trying on the different dresses, and there's all the people around her, the sales assistant, her parents, society telling her what to do. But this is her moment. This is the one choice she gets to make. There's a lot of shit that's put on her.
Which dress?
Is which dress?
Wow, of these two very similar dresses, here's your choice.
Which of these two similar dresses are you going to choose? And Deborah Francis White argues that's her agency. That is her reclaiming, like, this is, the whole thing of this is my day is actually kind of profound when you think about a lot of cultures in which women are, not allowed to speak up, right? Not allowed to speak up in certain scenarios. And this is her scenario where she can say, no, I fucking hate that monstrosity. Which, incidentally, in this opening number, the dress which Elle says yes to, I think is disgusting.
For whatever reason, she comes across as likable, and me and Kit spoke about this tons with our show, because the lead female in our show could potentially come across as super unlikable. And it's the same for Elle. Like, these could be really unlikable characters. This is quite unprogressive. It's not very feminist, and yet she comes across as really likable, and I'm on her team immediately. And it's because of things such as that, which probably happens subconsciously to me when I'm watching it. But I immediately am on her side. I'm on her team. I want her to get a good dress. She's trying really hard. I'm sympathetic to her, and I'm Team Elle straight away.
Yeah, I suppose they deliberately contrast Elle with the other, because like an audience is probably not going to have as much sympathy for Elle if the audience is just seeing her as the stereotype of a fashion obsessed sorority woman. And so when you finally hear her voice, and perhaps this is the reason why she doesn't appear in the opening number until 3/4 of the way through, which is they're giving us an anchoring of, here is what you're expecting. Here are the nasal, chattery sorority women who are like, oh my god this, oh my god that. Here's your anchoring, so that now when we introduce Elle, she said, you know what I mean? Like, they're like contrasting her with those in order to make the audience be on board with her.
Yeah, and it's
Totally,
and it's not an immediate obvious contrast, because she shares similarities with the others.
Yeah.
But it's a subtle contrast, and it's beautifully written in that way, because she develops throughout the show, and this is her starting point, and you can see immediately that she's different from the other girls, but obviously there's room for development with this character.
The pilot episode, so this was the pilot. Don't expect our characters to stay the same all the way through, this is just the pilot.
Yeah, they're going to recast me in the next one.
If you want to hear our musical comedy, it's called Love Pill the Musical. It's on any app where you listen to podcasts. You can find this musical. Josie, what about yourself? You've got a podcast?
Yes, I do. I have a feminist sketch show podcast, which I write with Kit, which is called The Second Sketch. So give us a look wherever you listen to podcasts.
Smash that like button, smash the bell, smash...
Josie, is there anything you'd like our listeners to smash that they can see on their screens right now? What would you like them to click?
They can smash this avocado! Guacamole for everyone.